Hi guys, this is video number 8 in the chapter of linear programming. Okay, now we were supposed to take examples from this video onwards, how we'll be formulating LPPs, right? So we are already in the second part of the chapter. This is within that the first half where you will learn to formulate. So word problem converting into the LPP. Now, the problem with these word problems is that they have a lot of information that has to be processed. If you remember from the previous video, we know that an LPP is created by combining three things together. We have first the objective function, then we have the constraints, so there can be n number of constraints, and finally we have the non-negativity constraints. So all of this has to be combined, so all of this information has to be available in the word problem also. Secondly, as per the pattern of the word problem is observed, we see that the information is always not arranged in a particular manner. You will see that sometimes they talk about the profit initially, so that's the objective function. Sometimes they talk about the constraints initially. Within the constraints also there are two parts. One wherein you create the ax plus by, that is the left hand side, and the other is the limit. Because now you are not doing exact things. Like for example, you went to a fruit market and you have taken along with you 500 rupees. Grapes are at 100 rupees per kg, and there is apples which is at about 80 rupees per kg. Then it is possible that in taking a particular quantity of grapes and apples, you might completely use up the 500 rupees or you might not. But definitely you cannot use more than 500. So whatever quantity you will take, suppose you take 2 kgs of grapes and you can then take 3 kgs of apples, so 200 plus 240 will make it 440, will always be less than equal to 500. So this is what it is going to look like. The inequality that you will form will be 100x, because that's x quantities or x kgs of grapes, and then there will be y kgs of apples, so 80y, which will be less than equal to 500. So this constraint, a single constraint, also has multiple pieces of information which will be scattered through the problem. So this is the problem with the given word problem, that the information is not in a particular sequence. You have to pick up bits and pieces and form it accordingly, right? So let's take the first example, wherein it says, as you can see, there is a company which is producing two products, product 1 and product 2, and they have requirements. So आप एक product बना रहे हो जिसमें there's problem states that product 1 requires 3 units of chemical salt and it requires 2 units of chemical mixture. Then there is a product 2 which is 2 units of chemical salt and 4 units of chemical mixture. But there are only 1000 units of chemical salt and 1500 units of chemical mixture that are available, whereas the profit on the product 1 and 2 are respectively 25 rupees and 20 rupees. Formulate this as a mathematical expression, that is an LPP, right? So lots of information. I can see there is 3, there is 2, there is 2, then there is 4, then there is 1000, there is 1500, there is 25, there is 20, lots of numbers. There are also lots of words to pick up from. There is product 1, there is product 2, there is chemical salt, there is chemical mixture. So all of this will get arranged into a proper matrix. Okay? In most of the problems, the technique that we will use will be the same. We will try to assume the decision variables and we'll try to tabulate everything. Once everything gets tabulated, it will be really easy. Like in a matter of seconds, you will be ready with the inequalities. So in maximum problems, instead of writing the statements, I will focus on creating the tabular. So in case in the exam you don't have much time, then from the tabular you directly write the inequalities or you directly write the LPP, and there is still scope for you to get the full marks. And if time permits, then we'll go according to the sequence, that is after the tabular we'll write few statements explaining those and we will create the inequations out of it and then the LPP. So in standard problems which are manufacturing, diet related problems, also probably investment related problems, we'll try to form a tabular. In sums where we are not able to form a tabular, in those sums what we'll do is we'll try to pick up the statements from the problem itself and create the inequalities on the go, right? So for this problem, let us begin. See, identifying first of all whether there is maximize or minimize, this sum clearly states that they want to maximize the profit. Also, common sense, profit is always maximized. So I'll begin with that, the first step, which is that maximize. ठीक है, आपने identify करना है कि आपको maximize करना है, but there is nothing to be written here. Second is to identify that what are the decision variables. What is going to be your X and Y? The company is going to manufacture two products, P1 and P2, alright, or 1 and 2, and it is going to make profit on it, which is 25 rupees on one and 20 rupees on the other. So the quantities of these products, see, as a company owner you will think कि मैं कितने products of one manufacturer करूँ, कितने products of type 2 manufacturer, so that my profit is maximum. You already see, it's obvious that since profit on one is more, it is 25 rupees. Still, as a company you will not want to streamline, okay, you want to diversify. You will not streamline your manufacturing to just one product if the profit is more on that. You will want to keep different products and different lines of manufacturing running so that you can diversify as a company, right? So it is not that I am going to just manufacture one thing, although the profit on that is the maximum. You will want to keep all the things running. So here we are talking about two products. Let their quantities that are manufactured be X and Y. So let the company, or let X units of product 1 and Y units of product 2 be manufactured and sold. So whatever is going to be manufactured, we are assuming that is going to be sold as well. Okay, so after the assumption, now time to form the objective function, then the constraints, and then the hidden constraints. So before all of this can begin, we are going to tabulate the information so that I don't have to refer the word problem again and again. Instead, I will refer the table for making my constraints, my objective function, and the non-negativity constraints. So the given information can be tabulated as follows. The idea here is you create a matrix, you create a table in which your X and Y will always become columns, and the constraints via which they pass will become the rows, because those, they are the conditions through which the product is to pass. Product 1 requires chemical salt, it requires chemical mixture. These are two things via product 1 will pass. So they will form your constraints, so they will be the rows, and X and Y are going to be a column. So this is how you write it. You write here product 1, or you write just products, you write 1, you write 2 here, right, and that is your column creation. Now talking about your constraints, see, both of 1 and 2 require two things. It requires chemical salt and it also requires chemical mixture. Let's see, product 1 requires how many units of chemical salt? It requires 3 units. And it requires 2 units of chemical mixture. So product 1 chemical mixture is 2. With respect to product 2, we have these values as 2 and 4. But you know that there is a limit on the utilization of chemical salt. Only 1000 or 1500 units are available. So that will be your maximum availability. So that's 1000 for your chemical salt, and then for chemical mixture it is 1500. Also you're going to earn profit by selling product 1 and 2. So let's see how much is the profit. That will be written here. We have 25 rupees on product 1 and 20 rupees on product 2. The final thing is this. We are trying to find the maximum profit that you will earn. That's what you are doing as part of this LPP. This is how LPP finds application in real world. So this is what you are looking for, the maximum profit. Okay, that's why you give them the objective function, and then later on when we see how to solve that, you will understand that what you are looking for. Okay, now we decided that product 1 will be X and product 2 will be Y. That's the quantity of it, right? So if you are having X number of product 1 made, on one of them you spend 3 units, then on X you will spend 3X. Similarly, your 2X and 25X profit when you are selling X products. Similarly, Y in all of these. That's how you can tabulate the problem. From this, it is very easy to identify the LPP at this point itself, see, this is what the profit is, this is what you're maximizing. So it's basically maximizing 25x plus 20y. What are the constraints? Subject to 3x plus 2y. Since this is the maximum availability, this utilization has to be less than equal to 1000. This utilization has to be less than equal to 1500. That's it. And then you write x greater than y, x and y greater than 0, and it completes your LPP. Whatever we write here is just for the sake of marks. Write some statements. So even if you miss out on them, just in case you are running out of time, only then you miss out on them, we can expect a deduction of 1 mark. Apart from that, you've already done the assumption, you've tabulated the information, you've given them the LPP. So you can expect out of 3, 2, or you can expect 3 out of 4. Alright, now let me mention what I'll just be taking only the necessary statements, probably 3 or 4 of them, and we'll get done with the formulation. So what are the compulsory statements that you will begin with? First, we'll talk about step 2 तक हम कर चुके हैं, step 3 से हमें start करना है. So that is to identify the objective function. We know it is the profit, so we'll write the statement for that. Alright, the total profit is z is equal to 25x plus 20y, which is the objective function to be maximized. Let's talk about the constraints now. So we'll talk about only one constraint first, that to manufacture x units of 1 and y units of 2, it will require 3x and 2y, that is 3x plus 2y units of chemical salt. X units of product 1 and y units of product 2 require 3x plus 2y units of chemical salt. However, the maximum availability stands at 1000, so that's what you mentioned. However, the maximum availability of chemical salt is 1000 units. Therefore, your 3x plus 2y has to be less than equal to 1000. This is really important. Constraints on chemical salt. There is only one more constraint here, but there can be some where there can be 2 more of them, but need not explain all of them. Now you can just conclude with a similarly, saying that similarly, considering the maximum availability of chemical mixture, we have, that's where we generate the inequation, that is the constraint on chemical mixture. It's 2x plus 4y less than equal to 1500. That's the constraints on chemical mixture. So you are ready with your 2 constraints. Now the hidden constraints, that is the non-negativity one, there is nothing more in this. We have utilized all the numbers in the problem. The non-negative constraints will be written as, we can write it here, since x and y represent the number of products, x and y cannot be negative. So one line explaining the non-negativity. So we write here x comma y greater than equal to 0, write them as non-negativity constraints. So step 3 completed, step 4 completed, step 5 completed. Final expression, therefore the LPP is maximize z is equal to 25x plus 20y subject to 3x plus 2y less than equal to 1000. You don't mention anything here. You have taken care of all the statements, bracket work, etc. over there. We have 2x plus 4y less than equal to 1500, and you have x comma y greater than equal to 0. So how do we conclude this particular video? We have taken first of all an example where we are doing the formulation of LPP, conversion from word problem to the LPP. We have followed the six-step process exactly. Next, we identified that the data is always quite, it's stirred up in the sum. So not all sums will be the same. You have to pick up the data from different parts of the question. For this reason, we mostly tabulate all the information after identifying the nature of the problem, whether it is maximize or minimize, and identifying the decision variables. After the table is ready, that's where we then implement steps 3, 4 and 5 of your 6-step process, and the final step, that's what we end with, is the expression for the LPP. More examples will clear things out even further.